I also need to plug in for battery because my computer is about to die. So we're going to do like a hands-on workshop type class to create all of your social media content for February.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
okay, so basically what we're going to do is go through like different content ideas and have you pick like how many times you want to be posting social media content each week. So if you want to do like 3 days a week, you'll pick like if you want to do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or what that looks like for you schedule wise. And then we have a list of topics. So you can either pick from those topics, or if you have other things that you want to post, you can pick those. And so basically we're going to be just making like the overall calendar, and then we'll go into Canva, and I can help you like create if you have any questions on like how to create the actual content,
Okay.
where to get that from. It is cold back here.
It is cold. It was really cold. It was really hot when we first came in, and then
My mask is keeping me warm.
Yeah.
my
Is-
legs are cold.
That's a 69.
Yeah, my legs are cold.
That is, I wonder if it's just the windows.
Yeah, because it was really warm when we started.
Yeah, huh.
This morning.
How odd. Okay, so the first piece of paper on here are just like general marketing prospecting ideas. So you don't have, but I just included this so you have it in terms of like what you want to be doing on a monthly basis in terms of marketing yourself. So like some people, like usually I recommend having like 3 to 5 different lead generation avenues per month. So like that could look like open houses, running ads, doing mail outs, and like social media posts. So that's what the first page is. So if you want to go through it, whatever point, and just kind of pick like the things that you want to be doing regularly. And then I usually recommend incorporating those planning times into your time blocking schedule. So like KW model is generally to do lead generation from 9 to 11. So like making calls from like 9 to 11, client follow-up, working your database. And then anyone that you're getting from these lead generation sources, adding them into your database so that that can be added to the people that you're following up with on a daily basis. And then usually what I'll do is like from 11 to 12 each day, creating like having an hour dedicated to working on like creating that, or like Mondays you could do, if you decide that you want to do an open house on Sunday, Mondays you could spend that hour creating open house materials, doing your flyers, putting together like packets if you want to do pop-bys for 40 surrounding houses to talk to the neighbors, that kind of thing. Tuesdays, most agents don't plan out their social media like this. So like Tuesdays and Thursdays, you could work on your social media. Wednesday, you could work on like ordering any marketing materials for the next month. And then Friday, any like additional things that you need to wrap up before the weekend. So just kind of incorporating those like 4 to 6 things in an hour time blocked during your week also. This thing is like so wobbly. I don't think that's working. So the second page that you guys have are social media content ideas. So the first thing you should do is to decide how many days a week do you want to post actual content on social media.
Okay.
And then after deciding how many days you want to post, and I'm going to open this up so you can see it, deciding on what days of the week you want to post and what content you want on what days. Because what we're going to do is like basically mass create the content. So, and I'll show you an example in just a second. So say you want to do getting your house ready to sell in the spring, right? On like Tuesdays. We'll create one social media graphic and then we'll duplicate it 3 times. And then we'll change the background, the font, and whatever the content is on it. So like the first week you could put, make sure your curb appeal is looking great, do your, shrubs and get your exterior power washed, whatever. Second week you can do, freshen up some of the colors on the interior to make sure that there's no like dull colors or old paint in the house. Third one could be make sure that you have like your furnace inspected and like everything is good. You know what I mean? Just like little things. And content wise, I usually recommend finding the actual like action items either on like Google or Pinterest, because you can always Google like, how do I get my house ready to sell? And then you're going to see a ton of articles come up that have like 10 bullet points of things you can do. So really, like if you were doing a Seller Tip Tuesday, you could do like 10 weeks of it, not just 1 month of it, if you have all of those things. And you can use the same format in terms of the actual design for it, but it looks different every single month, but it's, but then it's consistent with your design. So when people see it, they're like, oh yeah, okay. So I want you guys to take a minute. Here you go, London. To go through and pick how many days a week you want your content to be posted. And then I want you to associate a topic with each of those days.
So what is the typical amount of days without being overkill?
I usually do it's like 40%. It depends on how much you post generally. Like if
See, I
you,
don't post at all.
okay, I would probably do 2 to 3 days.
Okay. So 2 to 3 days. So then you're wanting to pick how many topics then?
2 to 3 topics. So you'll have like 1 topic per day.
Per day. And that will be for what length of time then?
We'll just work on February's
Okay,
this
just
month.
for the month.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then I'll have another one of these at the end of February for March.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then you can always keep it consistent if you want to, and just like create more of what you had for February for March if there's like more content that's
Yeah.
similar, or you can change it if you want to. One thing I don't think I put on here is like client reviews or testimonials.
Okay.
So if that's not on here and you have past clients that you can ask for reviews or kind of like swing back through to repost them if they were like a couple of years ago, that's a really good one. That's actually one I had resent out yesterday, probably like 10 review requests just to try over the past few months, just to try to get them coming in again. So some of the stuff might take like a little bit of extra legwork. Like if you were to do like, say you do Monday market update, you'll have the template for it, but every Monday morning you're going to have to pull the numbers from the MLS and then you can post it. So that kind of thing that needs updated that day, you won't be able to post it ahead of time because there's no way to know what the actual numbers will be. But did you leave a bag?
It says live on real.
No, it's not here.
Huh. Let me know when you guys are ready to
I'm ready.
move on.
Okay.
Alrighty, so I'll show you. So yesterday, for example, I created new like client testimonial designs.
Okay.
Here we go. I was like, where is that? So I created the first one. It is loading. And I can go through, like, is there anyone that's not familiar with how to like create something in Canva, like from start to finish? Okay, yeah, I can definitely go through it. So I'll show you first, like this is kind of how I have them vary. So like I started with this one, but then up here in the right-hand corner above it, it's duplicate page. So I made multiple copies of it. And I like change the colors, and then as I get new testimonials coming in, I'll just change the verbiage and the name and the city. And then I did like a third one. And then once I get through these three, then I'll probably create a couple more just because it's super easy. So I'll go back. So generally when you're creating like content for an actual post, whether it's on Instagram, or Facebook, you're going to want to do an Instagram post size. It's 1080 by 1080. And that's pretty streamlined for being able to fit the format for both of those. And then when you click on that, it'll open this up. If you don't have the paid version, if you're going to be working on Canva regularly, I would recommend getting it. I think it's like $10 or $12 a month. It's not too expensive, but there's a ton more options in terms of like designs, fonts, that kind of thing. There's also like if you were to get a headshot and then you wanted to remove the background. And so it's just like you,
Yeah.
like it has that kind of like, yeah. Yeah. And then you can create logos and things like that. And then you can create them as vector files where they have the transparent background as an option too. So there's a ton of different options in here. I love this program. I do everything in this, including like stuff for PC, like actual like 8.5 by 11 sheets or forms or things like that. They have templates for everything. And everything is customizable, which is the best part. So they'll have like recommendations or things that you want to go on. So like, let's say I want to do the transaction process. And so that could be like a 10-week thing that I set up. So I'll go through and just kind of look at different like pictures and get an idea of what I want the actual template to look like. So
I kind of didn't think, like we were talking about how you can move the stuff.
mhm,
I kind of didn't think you could literally change everything, but you
Mhm.
literally can change
every single thing on it.
Even though I don't have the paid version yet,
Mhm.
like, yeah, like the colors of, like the flower, you
Yep.
wanted a different color. or
Everything.
Like, yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah.
But it's nice because it gives you the flexibility to like, if you like just the general format of something with like where the picture is placed or how many photos are in it or like the main fonts in it, you can move things around however you want to, too, which is super nice.
And then once you download them, they stay on the, all your designs part.
Yep. So they'll all show up like when you first log in on your home screen, all of your designs will be like kind of on here under recent designs. And you can click on all of your designs and everything you've ever created will pop up. So you can go back to any of it. So I had, this is untitled. Let's do this. This one's probably, this will be like a little bit more in depth because this has like 4 pictures. But you could also delete all 4 of these and then just replace it with 1 photo. So like say that's what we wanted to do. And we highlight it, delete it. And then we go to photos here on the left, right over here. And then you can type in like, let's say, let's just put in home. Hi, Graham. How are you? And so I want to do just like a cute living room or sitting room. So I changed the background. And so you'll see sometimes, like if I were to move this, it all moves together. That's all grouped together. And it's nice because it has grid lines. So if you move something and you want to move it back, you can either move it back and try to find the grid lines, or there's a backspace here too. So it'll go back as many times as you need it to. If you want to ungroup, highlight it, and then up here in the top it says ungroup, and then just click outside of it first, and then you can go in and they'll all be separate. So like, let's say I want to take that out, and I can never tell if that's one word or two. I feel like you read it as like one, but then sometimes it does a thing underneath, like it needs to be two. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. So we'll go with it. It's fine. So I'll move this up, and then I can use this and put step 1, get pre-approved with your lender of choice. And then I can, if you want, like, I usually don't go into like text to create a new text because I don't want to have to decide on like the size and stuff. So I'll just like highlight one that I already have. And then up here in the right-hand corner, there's duplicate. And then I'll just bring it down and then put my information on it. And then let's say I would like this also to be black. I can change the color. And then move that down. And we'll just make this a little bit bigger. Let's do it all as 5. And we'll spread it out a little bit more. And then we center it. And then you can, within like one text box, also make one line of text or like a certain word or whatever different than other ones. So like I'm highlighting step 1. I want to bold this and underline it and make this black too. Which actually I kind of like that color better. I'm going to do all of it in gray. I kind of want this to be bigger. So I'll place that. And then I have mine at the bottom. So we're just going to use this as an example. And then obviously you're going to want to have like your equal housing. So you'll go to your uploads. You can upload any media, picture, whatever you want on here. I need to delete some of this stuff out of here from like past events. Holy cannoli. Okay. So you just, if you want to add a picture, just like click on it and it'll put it in there, and then you can, okay, that didn't move the right thing. I'll move that up, move this back. And then I'm going to just resize this so it's smaller. And then I'll just put it right up here in the corner. So you can move things and put them literally wherever you want to. And then I will duplicate this page, and I'll do it a couple times. So I'm creating like my whole month's worth. So then I'll go back to the second one and photos of home. And then we'll do step 2. Meet with your agent to discuss your new home criteria.
Did you do these every day, or you do them once a week? Or you're doing something like this particular?
I would do it like once a month. So I would just create all of them. So like if you pick like 3 different topics,
No, I mean
but you
like
would
this
do
particular,
steps,
the
though.
steps that you're doing, like this particular home buying process.
I would do
you
it once
that
a week.
Really? You would do it every
So they
day,
wouldn't-
give something different?
No,
Okay.
because I
They
would do
wouldn't
multiple
wonder, like,
things.
where's step 2 or where the other steps are.
No, because when they look like on your, or you could do like, if you want to do like a full week and just do like steps or like daily,
Right.
go for it. Great.
Is that overkill?
I would maybe, rather than posting like this 10 days in a row, I would probably create one that has all 10 on the same one.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like, so, but the whole purpose of doing this is to create multiple
Right.
steps for people to look back like through your social media, especially like your Instagram grid, and be like, oh, okay, so every Monday she posts a home buying process tip.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they're coming back to actually see the second one.
Mhm.
Or
Mm-hmm. And then you have content to post, because realistically, most people are not even paying attention to what you're writing. It's that you're like staying in front of people and they know you're a real estate agent. So it's more so about like presence and value as opposed to like the content per se, because most of us post a lot of the same stuff anyways. And most people have like multiple real estate friends. My feed is literally like thousands of real estate agents and all of their content. It just happens that way. But yeah, it's more so just them like seeing your name associating it with real estate. And then like in your actual, like I would post this graphic and then in the actual text on the post, be like, step 2, this is the super fun part. I get to meet with my clients one-on-one to go over what your needs are, what your wants are, what you're looking for, what areas, and really just do a deep dive into what it looks like for you to buy a new home. I'll answer all of your questions, and just kind of talk about like, you can even do bullet points. Like, what are the 5 things you want to accomplish during a buyer consultation? So it allows you to like kind of do a little bit more of like an explanation in the text without having to put a ton on your graphic.
So what do you think about like the repetitiveness of, so something I learned a long time ago when I was in college, it
Mhm.
feels like 100 years ago.
Same.
So what, like, in marketing, because that was my degree, they said like the repetitiveness of the same thing, like Taco Bell. When you think of Taco Bell, you always think of the bell ding at the end.
Mm-hmm.
They did that on, so subconsciously you're always thinking, when you hear that bell, even if you're at church, you're like Taco Bell, just like comes to mind.
Yep.
So is there such a thing as like making a brand awareness in the sense that if I used the same picture in the same type of graphic, if I use that repetitively enough,
Mm-hmm.
even though it had different content, would you say people aren't really reading it? They're just more looking?
I think they would be seeing it. It just depends. I think some
Okay.
people like read it if they're interested in it. It's like anything that's posted. If you have a personal interest in what the content is about, you'll probably take a second to actually read it. If you're just scrolling through and it all looks like the same type of branding, you'll notice it, but you might not read like the full text in depth. But that's why a graphic with less information is important, because like if people aren't interested in actually reading that content, they won't read the text part. But this is so like minor, like small to, that it's just like, oh, okay, like why not? Like you notice it.
I noticed some people have been using the same graphics for advertising over and over, but they be posting so much other stuff in between. It's not like an overload of the same graphics.
And I usually post graphics on like my business page for Facebook and then my Instagram feed, like my actual grid. But then I do, for my stories, my personal stuff. So people are seeing my story stuff more than they see probably my grid. But then what I do is when I post it to my grid, I then share it to my story. So they're seeing personal business, personal business. So that I kind of just incorporate it in that way. Cause I usually cause I look to see how many people watch my stories, and I usually have between like 200 and 250 each, like for each of the stories. So it's like, I know that when I'm putting my personal stuff on there and people are like, oh, what's Casie cooking for dinner? Or like, great banana bread, it's like, but then I can kind of throw a little plug in there with like, also this house is for sale, so you should go see it. So
I like that idea, what you just said, because the story is not permanent, so you don't have like your personal stuff out there that long
mm-hmm.
versus the post where it's on there the whole time.
Yep.
So,
And I have a personal Instagram page that like my handle is in my like bio on my business one, just in case people wanted to look at it. But that's literally, I put nothing business on that one. It's literally like food I cook, motivational stuff, and my son and house projects. Like there's no real estate related anything on that business, on that personal page. And I think it's worth noting too, like London, how you were saying, sometimes you'll see people do like consistent designs. I think that's really important for things that are recurring, such as like just listed, on market, under contract, pending, sold. I think those are better off being consistent and then just changing out the picture in the city. So like I created the same template, but then I changed like the background picture because these are two separate pictures. So like I changed the filter just depending on like which one it was. And I've been playing with them a little bit, but like you can see I have them all the same. I just changed the word at the top for what status it's in, and then the picture of the house. And then that way, and I'll show you guys mine. I change mine pretty frequently. So I get bored really fast with my stuff. So I'm just creating random stuff. I literally will like lay in bed and be like, oh, this is a fun idea. And then just like make something real quick and post it that has like nothing. Oh, okay.
Not the best. But you know.
Oh, my profile. Okay. Well, it was really funny. There was one time I was doing this and Kaylin had posted a picture of her in a bikini. And it was the first thing that popped up when I opened up my feed. I'm like, okay, well, this is like kind of on you. But it was funny. She was like, oh my God. I'm like, I know. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so you can see like, and I try to keep like filter wise and stuff, a lot of the same look, like vibe with it. And then I post
Yeah,
like,
it's nice. Like this is exactly what you just said. Like this, like I could go to your house and tell you what your house looks like based on looking at what is that's the purpose though, right?
Yep.
To like get to see who you are without being you.
Yep. Like I got a new like sold sign for my clients. So I like took a picture of it and was like, who's the first lucky client to take a picture with my new awesome sold sign? Great. Cool. Reminder to fall back for like the time beginning of every month. I always do like a welcome January or like Happy New Year, welcome January. Holidays, I'll do like Happy St. Patrick's Day, Happy Valentine's Day, whatever it is. If you have any events going on. So like for Valentine's Day, I booked a table for 2 at Lago, and then I booked a table for 2 at Cooper's Hawk, because people are going to get to like the 12th and be like, oh my gosh, we did not book a table. And then I'm going to do a raffle for the tables with a $50 gift card to try to get people to put in my database. So I'll probably start marketing that like the first week of February on here and on my story, so that I could be like, lucky winner to be announced on the 13th. And you get a table that I already reserved for you at one of these 2 restaurants, whichever one you sign up on. And that's like a really good way to do what we call like a reverse 100 raffles and things like that, where it's like, rather than you reaching out to 100 people finding some kind of like giveaway or raffle or something to get people to come to you. Could you imagine if like your goal is to get, I don't know, 100 people for the entire month in your database, and you did that just through like one table giveaway, and all you had to do was book 2 tables and give them $50. Like, that's so easy. And there's so many things that you could do, just like content and idea and marketing wise. It's just like, and if you're unsure, like you could just look up like real estate agent. Cool. We'll just like pull up this person's, I don't even know who this is, but like what kind of content are they posting? Pictures and houses, her dog. Cool. Look at other people's stuff, especially if they're in different markets. You're not competing with them directly for business. So if they have like a really cool idea of something that they're doing in California, do it here. Just change what it looks like. Just don't steal like their actual design. But like,
Unless you're like buying the design from like Etsy or something.
right,
or you're buying
correct,
it.
yeah. So yeah, like Art of Real Estate did like 2022 housing forecast under contract. Congratulations, Jess is on their team and one of their friends, and she just got married this past week. Some little like tidbits about the market and the inventory.
But do you like creating your own versus going to like some of those websites that have them, like Breakthrough Broker or what's the one, the Women's Council, I think have them.
There's women in real estate, I think. Yeah, it honestly just depends on what you want to do. If you want to like go on Etsy or Women in Real Estate, and like I think Women in Real Estate's like $25 or something a month, and then they give you a bunch of like branded stuff that you can brand to yourself. Awesome, do it. If that's worth it for you to not have to like create it, go for it. But if it's something that like you either enjoy doing or you're efficient enough at it that like it doesn't make sense for you to pay someone to do it yourself. Either way. What time is it? So we have about like 15 minutes left.
So can we see like the next
Yeah.
step? Because I feel like that's where I get stuck.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like where the going to the you know, the scheduling part of it.
So
Not
this
the
is,
creating, but the like
yeah.
set it up to go out every blah blah blah.
So this is going to be dependent on what program you want to use. So there are multiple, that's kind of where it gets tough. There are multiple programs that allow you to schedule ahead of time for both your Facebook and your Instagram. So like Later, I know, is one of them, and it's a free account. And then you can just pick the day you want, upload your graphic, and then put the text in. But you have to connect it to your account to be able to post it. I don't have mine connected there. I know Facebook. To do it in Facebook, you have to have a business page. And then you have to go into your like business, like the back end of your business page to be able to schedule out. But now you can connect your Instagram. Previously, you weren't able to do from Facebook to Instagram. You can now. Before, you would have to post on Instagram and then share it to your Facebook.
Yeah, because I just got a Facebook when I started working here.
Mm-hmm.
My Facebook looks different than my husband's because he's had an account for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Like just the way you can toggle and do things is just different on mine. Yes, it's different on mine than it is on his.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no marketplace. If I don't go up to the little thing and find it through like all the, like his has it where you could just see it on the side.
Yeah.
Like mine, I had to.
You
like,
have to find it.
Yeah. I had to find it because I couldn't.
A lot of those things are dependent on how much you use them too. So like, cause like mine now on my Facebook app is at the bottom of my screen. But if I don't use Marketplace for like a few months, it'll replace it with something else. Mm-hmm. Cause I've had to find mine. Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, how am I setting this up when I can't find it?
When mine got off of the bottom of mine, I had no idea where to look for it. Cause I was like, it's always been down here.
Oh yeah, I had to find it. Yeah.
And so when I post on my Instagram, you can connect it to your business page also. So like I have the Instagram I just showed you of mine connected to my business page. And then I have my personal one connected to my personal page. So you can connect them to like this depending on what kind of account you have appropriately. So up here, it says like manage your page and Instagram account together with Meta Business Suite.
Quick question.
Yeah.
How do you remember what you already posted? Just basically look at your page?
Mm-hmm.
Can you create folders in Canva?
Yep.
So you could do this is January stuff and stick it over there so you're not looking at it again.
Mhm.
That's what I need to do.
Yep. And it's super easy to do. All you have to do is like, aren't they cute? Is that the ones you got too?
Yeah.
I like those
They
ones.
might be a little more alike than I thought.
Right? So like you can just post it and put to like move to a folder.
Oh, okay.
And then social media
You bring up a
content.
good point, like how you're gonna remember that you didn't already use that graphic or that stuff, because you're usually drawn to the same type of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
To not pick it more than once.
Especially posting more frequently, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and if you create content, because you're usually not going to use like a pre-created design template without adjusting it at all.
Right.
So like there's a chance that you might end up using the same one a couple months apart from each other. I promise you not one person is going to notice.
And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, if you just keep editing the same one, you'll know what you posted last time.
Mhm.
It'll start off like that.
So we're gonna create the content, then we're gonna download it so that we can then put it here.
Yep. So when you are done with it, up here it says download. And then you can pick, I usually recommend downloading it as a PNG file because that's an image. But you have the option to download it as a JPEG, a PDF, an MP4 video if there's like things that move on it, a GIF, whatever you want to do. So download it as a PNG. You can leave this as like size 1, totally fine. You don't have to adjust that. If you want a transparent background, you can. For these, I usually don't because it doesn't really matter. And then you can pick, like, say you don't want to, so for images, you're going to want to download each one individually so that you can upload them individually. Otherwise, if you download multiple at the same time, they're going to download as a zip file, which then you can open. But it's just like I don't know, totally up to you how you want to do it. If you want to download them separately or open up a zip file, both work. So then you'll download it and it'll like.
Sweet.
So you download it and then you're going into Facebook or Instagram and uploading.
Mm-hmm.
After you go to your business, you gotta go to your business
Right.
page first.
Mm-hmm.
All right, okay, fine. Here's the part where I get stuck and then I wanna give up.
So you can create a new post.
You said once you upload it to Facebook, it goes to Instagram, or do you have to do something to get it to go to your Instagram?
So you'll have to connect your Instagram,
Okay.
but so like I just did, this is in like the back end. I went to my business page
Yeah.
on Facebook, and then up here, there's a business suite.
Where you at?
Right over here. It says like business suite.
Okay, so you, all right.
See, that's where,
Yeah, I don't think I have that.
that's where it starts to get a little murky, because I don't see that on,
Yeah.
I'm on my business page.
I'm on my business page and I'm looking for what?
On the left, does it say anything on yours, Keita Meta business page or
It does-
suite?
So, okay, so do you have this on the side of yours?
Yes.
So
That's-
click down
that's where it
there,
is.
So
and then I would go to planner.
I'm trying to find, wait a minute.
Sure.
So I'm on the side and I'm
Do you see
looking for.
planner? This is your business page?
Yep, I only have business page. Yeah, okay. it's totally different.
I know, it's, yeah, I don't get it. Okay. It works, right?
Yeah.
Is that new, calling it Meta Business?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's a recent thing.
Oh, there we go. There's a whole calendar. Okay. Oh, and it tells you like the day of the week, like your people are more active on your page. That's nice. It's just like opening up a whole new world. This is the part where I kept getting stuck.
So finding that, so then when you go to planner in the top right, you can go to create and you can create post. And then from here, if your Instagram is linked with your business page, you'll be able here up in the placements to click both your business page and your Instagram page. And then you can input your text here. So like, thank you for the raving review. And then, so you want to add some hashtags, you can search hashtags here, and then you can save some also. So if you have like business hashtags that you use, like I do hashtag Realtor Casie, hashtag Coach Casie, hashtag Cleveland Realtor, hashtag buy with me, hashtag sell with me, whatever you want to use. You can save them here too. And then you add under add photo is where you'll upload that right here.
So mine has a add media and create video. So I would do add media. That's why.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't download it, but let's
Add photo
say,
or add video. Okay.
I'm just gonna download a fake business card template. But then over here on the right, as you're making changes and uploading things, it's showing you what this looks like as your post. And then if you want to add a location for where you're at, so I could add like here, or if I'm like Lakewood, Ohio, or whatever. And then you can do a call to action if you want to. But you can, I don't think you can do that with media uploaded. So you have to do that if it's just text. And then that's it. And then,
So, I'm sorry, I probably was doing this and you said it and I was trying to.
no, it's okay.
So when I'm posting something like you did on the side there, okay, I'm hitting add photo or what am I? Right?
So here
Right,
it says
okay.
add photo.
Yep,
So you'll add that.
Okay.
And then it'll show up over there.
got it.
And then you can put like the text
Sure.
and then Facebook text. So it'll show this, it will show the same on
Yes.
there. And then it'll show up over there. And then when you go to publish,
Yes.
down here you can schedule a post.
And that's where we're gonna pick a different day
Mhm.
for each one.
Oh, so this is what you were talking about. Instead of using later or
Mhm.
whatever.
You can just do it all through here.
You can all do it here.
Yep.
And that will publish it in Facebook and Instagram?
Yep.
Correct?
If you have.
Right, now, that's what I was doing when I wasn't paying attention.
That's
Just
okay.
saying, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
So you can pick a date. Let's say I want to do it tomorrow at 9 a.m. Awesome. And then you can pick them separately too. So if you don't want them to post
yeah,
at
I
the,
never knew how to do that.
I think it's because
This is
it's
cool.
different.
I
Like
never,
until you
nobody
actually
ever
like,
explained that to me.
until you
Mhm.
actually like take the moment, like in not watching but trying to.
Yeah.
It's hard to see. Yeah, I couldn't
Can
find
you
that
tell
sweet
me,
thing.
say you're not using something in Canva, but you're using something else
Sure.
that you found or whatever.
Mhm.
So how do you know like the size and everything of what that has to be?
I
Do you know, how do you, because do you just input those type of sizes or what do you do? So you know that you're, putting in the right size, that things are gonna be cut off or, if it's not from Canva.
feel like most of them, like the size might look a little weird. Like if you were to save as an image, like some kind of like PDF or something,
Right. Yeah, like you just saw something.
it might just
or
have like
whatever.
white on the
Yeah.
sides, but I don't think it'll like cut off the picture.
Okay, and then, I know we're short on time. I just have
No,
one
it's
more
okay.
question.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, because I've always wanted to know this. You know how like you can go ahead and do zip codes and posting? I don't understand that. Like how you picked a neighborhood or you picked
Uh-huh.
something else and then they saw your posts.
Do you mean like hashtags?
No, you can
Is
go
this
ahead,
for
you have to
ads?
pay for it.
Okay, so
You
like
have
the
to pay for
ads.
it, and it's, and then you can force it out. So say you're
Yeah.
doing some development in Solon, and they'll map it for you. And then those people, when they open their Facebook or whatever, those ads will appear.
Yeah. So those are actually done. I'm going to X out of this.
Okay.
Those are done through Command.
So it's
So,
not done through Facebook?
nope. Well, you can, but it's
Right.
cheaper to go through Command.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So
You
our
can do- okay.
our office has a partnership with Facebook and Instagram ads,
I
and
see.
so you can get them for cheaper through doing it through Command.
Oh, okay.
So all you have to do in here is like connect your Facebook and Instagram, like in your settings on Command. Mine's taking a nice little minute to load.
Yeah, mine is too. I went to my settings.
I'm just gonna close all my tabs.
So settings. Oh, okay, so Facebook post scheduling, Twitter post scheduling, I see that. So is that the same thing that we were just doing in Facebook though?
So
I can do that from here too?
So this is, you can do that through here, but
Okay.
so I would just make sure the ads manager, I find it easier to post through either Instagram to my
Okay,
Facebook
then we'll
page
do
or
that.
Facebook my Instagram
Okay.
page. But in terms of ads, I would recommend doing it in here. So when you
So that's
connect,
under marketing automation then, or where's that at?
yep. So you'll want, it's just, the same ones are kind of like scattered throughout. Like, so here's Facebook ads manager, and then, where's my Instagram? Connect settings.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything for Instagram.
No,
It's just Facebook.
You know what though?
it
When
might
you
go
have your
when you do it on Facebook. It might
yes,
go to
'cause
both.
Mine is
So
on,
once it's linked on the other side,
Yes,
then
mine
once
does
I would
both.
do that,
Yeah.
then it'll automatically.
when I
do
do
it.
something in Facebook, it's connected
Okay.
through here.
Because we already linked it.
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
so then I would only have to go into
Just the
the
Facebook connecting.
marketing automation,
Mhm.
Facebook.
But where do you see it? That's always my question. Like I run these ads, how come I don't see them?
That's a great question.
My husband's like, I didn't see your ad. Are you
Yeah.
sure you posted it? I'm like,
But people do. I feel like it's just when you like when people are scrolling and like there's the ads on like the right side
mean,
or like
people
things
obviously
that
see
pop
it,
up.
Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
Neighborhoods or whatever, or you're buying, for if going out to certain zip codes?
No, I've only done specific for like a house I'm selling or.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm.
But, so when you go into Command and you go to put in an ad, like it says where you want it to go and how many miles away.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
when you set it up, so that's kind of how you narrow down in the command part. It's not necessarily like this zip code.
Mm-hmm.
It's within blah, blah,
X
blah
miles of
yeah.
whichever zip code. So
Yeah.
like you go to campaigns here on the left. That's
Are you in
okay.
Command?
In
I'm
Command.
in command, yeah.
Mhm. So on the
And-
left-hand
I
screen.
was on the left.
Yep.
Okay, bye.
And then whichever one you're gonna do, but most of them are social.
Yeah.
And then
Oh.
a track listing, a track you can do.
I got it, okay.
And then when you go through the steps at the bottom, one of the sections is for the miles radius of
I see, and then
whatever it is you're putting. in.
whatever I created in Canva, I can pull it out of there and upload it onto there,
Mhm.
correct?
Mhm.
That's fabulous.
Mhm.
I never knew how to do that.
Yeah.
Been doing this for 7 years and never knew how to do it. That's great.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much
Thank
for
you.
coming.
So if we ever like want to make an appointment with you, or
Yeah.
whatever to help further, are you able to do that, or
Yep. So
what do you offer?
yeah, so I'm gonna log off of here real quick. Thanks, Tony. Let me know if you have any questions.